I'm doing stuff here, learning more about OBS and transitions and how to create them and download them, and use them. I like to edit them because the stingers they have, which are basically they're animated scene changes, which may seem kind of stupid, but I want to do it so that, you know, the streaming I do comes across as looking a little bit more appealing, and people will be interested. Don't really have anything on deck today. I figured what I could do is shoot. I could go and I could do some Skies Over Gutenberg stuff. I just have that one page right now. The rest of it's written. I do have scripts and I do have it all written up, but I'm thinking I might want to actually do this. Go to templates, group, comics, do it then. Just gonna get that started. I'll just start another page. You know, I'll just do another page. Let's do it. Let's do another page. So we're going to turn off our guides. The trim will serve as the bleed area. I'm going to turn down the volume here. I can shut off the cover guides portion. Down below flats, I'll add that. I'll do sketch. Oh wait, I already have one. I guess I already have. So the same thing that happened last night looks like it's happening again, where my keyboard's not responding. And right after I went off, I changed the batteries, because it's a wireless Bluetooth keyboard. I changed the batteries because I figured it's probably what the problem is. And it looks as though it's still doing the same thing. So in that, I hit the enter button and it just changed. I'm thinking maybe it's a memory issue. You know? I don't know why. But whatever. I canceled out of the web browser that I was using. So it doesn't eat up that much memory. And I'm using my phone in order to proof it, proof my stream. Just in case people pop up and they try to, you know, communicate with me, because I'm in Clip Studio, but the I'm in Clip Studio, but what I'm streaming in is OBS, and I'm using Retrans. I forget. I'm using a secondary plugin for OBS, which will rebroadcast my stream to a bunch of different social media sites that I use for me, which I need to do a lot of stuff. I need an assistant, really, is what I need. I need somebody who understands cloning. So what they can do is they can clone me, and then I can go and do the other projects and work on this. Like that Multiplicity movie with Michael Keaton, where the dude puts the pizza in the wallet and a boot on his head. I'm going to pet a dolphin, Steve. Well, he actually says he's going to eat a dolphin, but that's neither here nor there. What I can do is go to the skies, check on my reference. Got this. That's a good one. Do I have another one? So if you guys are seeing what I'm doing here, I'm going for reference. You can see I've got nothing to hide. Skies Over Gutenberg logos. You can see reference for the cover that I did, for reference for what the bus looks like. A template. Like, this was essentially how I created my comic book template, the page, and where I got my measurements from for the barcode, the masthead, and all that happy stuff. Because there are guidelines as to where those things need to set up when when you're creating the actual file. This right here is a guide that Carmine Infantino created. Carmine Infantino, 7 things guaranteed to sell a comic if shown on the cover. 1. Gorillas. 2. Dinosaurs. 3. Motorcycles. 4. A purple background. 5. The city in flames. 6. The hero crying. And 7. A direct question to the reader. What is the startling secret of the 7th superhero? Etc. So those things I keep those in mind. But I've got photo reference for that would look really good. In one of the panels down here, right? So if I kill the holds, the inks, shade, you know what? Why am I doing all that? I'm really beating myself up and reinventing the wheel. So why don't I just do this? Pull this below the panels. Fine. Those panels, I should lock the pixels. This. Do this with. Okay. See the way that shot's set up? It's pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool. So if I enlarge this slightly, pull this to over here, right? Like that. And then go to there, go like this, because I'm on that layer. Convert D to that. And then I'm going to take this and bring it all the way down to here. Because that's what I do. I drive myself crazy. I really got to clean these up. So I'll do that another time. You guys are watching me do this. This is going to be a sketch layer. Okay, what we're going to do here is we're going to go, we're going to do this. Sweet. Actually, no. How did I do this up here? Did I change all of these? Changed all of these, right? Maybe if I pull the holds, that's what I got to do. Pull the holds. So the inks, switch over to this. There we go. See if I change all that. Do the shade. What's this? Oh wow. Sky's logo. Change that. Is there a swatches layer? I thought there was. Okay. So this is one of the issues with working with so many layers, is that you forget where you are. You forget what you're doing. So you have to kind of like lock stuff down and do it again. Cause problems for yourself. But I think the end result speaks for itself. The end result is that you have a project that looks pretty good. Times. Shade and halftime. Alright, so the shade is set to multiply, right? So what if I set that? But what if I go to another one, which is everyone's favorite, Manalix, and pull up can't. Am I gonna have to make them again? I'll have to make them again. Who cares? Go to inks. Right. Go here. No, wait. Okay, so here. I swear. I know there's a way for me to do this where I can change the color. You know what? Let's not mess around. What about... We'll just go with the rich values. Rich values are when all 4 plates are set. So you have rich black, entails a rich black entails using all 4 of the plates because it costs more money. There's more ink involved. So we'll go to inks. Set them. Boy, you're certainly spending a lot of time doing correction. Yeah. The great thing is once this gets done, so once this once the values are set and everything's in place, you don't have to do it again. You just it's boring, tedious stuff. But when you do it, it's done. Good. So look at that. This right here. What is that? Layers, soft light. What if I would set it to hard light? Well, that's what you would get with hard light. Okay. Inks. Those are my holds. I'm going to dump those because my panels need to be changed. But I can see the change already. I can see how much it looks a little better. I really can. I'm happy with it. So we'll do this. Backgrounds. Boom. That's where we're at. That's my backgrounds. So how about select color gamut. Ready? That's going to be okay. Switches. I'm just going to go all the way to the top. Okay. Now I had to let go of that. I had selected these brush strokes that are in the tree, in the shrub, and I had to let those go because I wanted to. Oh, I'm on the wrong layer. What is it? Backgrounds? Do we have? Scroll down. It's reference, flats, backgrounds, right? Backgrounds. Okay. I had to let those go because I want to change the color of those. See, I can right now because I have black selected. I can change it to that, but I don't want it to be that. I want it to be 25% color. That's not good. Let's do it like that. Okay, so that is dark, but not too dark. No, there's stuff going on there. Okay. So we can switch over to the red, go down to the sketch layer. Okay. Let's the brush here. So one of the things that I've learned that I can do is I can just do stuff like this. And go back and do it a little bit better. See this tree? You're going to see some crazy stuff in a few minutes here. I promise this is going to be pretty. We're not going to leave it looking like this. You're going to be impressed. You're going to say, it is a mad genius. So most of the times, all we hear is, it is mad. Like angry. Not insane. Although, you know, touch of that. Okay. So these little trees, when I draw trees, I remember Lauren Faust's trees from her background work in Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. I just remember how really easy they, well, not easy, how simple they looked and how emotive they looked. When I say easy, I mean she put a lot of work into them, and that took a lot of years of practice, but they're so simplified. And I mean, as a cartoonist, I can understand how long it took her to master that, but for somebody to look at them and just be like, there's a couple of swashes, like, my kid could do that. Which tends to be the go-to. Like, people tend to say stuff like that. Well, my kid could do that. No, your kid can't. Your kid is not a Cal Arts graduate who has spent untold numbers of hours mastering what it is they're trying to do. See, a lot of people, and I think I've said this before, a lot of people will look at a Picasso and they'll say, well, my kid can do that. Or they'll look at a Jackson Pollock and they'll say, geez, babies do that in their plate all the time. What you don't understand is that it took Jackson Pollock just a long time. It took him his 10,000 hours to figure out how to do that. And it's not by chance. See, what you're seeing is calculated. What you're seeing is very precise color choices. What you're seeing is technique. You know, Picasso was a master. If you took a look at his early work, he could throw down. He's got some charcoal sketches out there that are just, they're crazy good. You know, and you see them and you're like, but look at this thing he did with the lady sitting in the chair. And that is calculated. That is the work of a master. That's right. I am not trying to plug Gatorade. I haven't been hydrating lately, so I need to falsify my hydration. I need to kind of throw some electrolytes in me so when I do get water, my body holds onto it. It's a whole process. I am such a nerd. I really am. Anyway, back to Picasso. So, when you take a look at his paintings that just look weird, they look like cubist and insane, and just really hackish. What you're looking at is a guy who is trying to cram every perspective he can into his paintings. It's the work of a damn genius. I love his work. I've been, for some reason, getting really ranty and emotional about artwork lately. I saw somebody posted on social media recently. They shared an article about how parents in this one school are going to be allowed to share or to let their kids read comic books as part of their reading assignment. Duh. Comic books are just graphic storytelling. They're beautiful. And, you know, if Will Eisner has taught us anything, or Walt Kelly's work has really taught us anything, it's that the medium itself, it just hasn't. What do you mean this is next level? Oh, okay. Okay. I'm streaming and I'm using my phone to proofread or to like to pay attention to what I'm doing, and I got a message from one of my cartoonist friends. Like this, I showed him something I was working on, and his comment showed up over the stream, so I thought he was watching, and I was like, what are you talking about? You're an art student. You know damn well all the stuff that I'm talking about. But, yeah, you take a look at different graphic novels, and they're so insane. And I mean that in a good way. See, when I read a comic book, or watch a cartoon, or watch a movie, or look at a painting, I do it in a way. There's a whole method to it, okay? And I'll give you some insight into who I am as a person. If you're ever around me, when you see me reading a comic or watching a cartoon, this is the process that I'm going through. I first watch it. Just boop. Just watch it. then I dissect it. I look at the method. I look at how it got done. I look at the message it's trying to convey, and whether or not they've actually done what they're setting out to do. And how did they do it? How did they get that message across? Did they use perspective? Did they use color? Did they use timing? Was it sound? Like, how did they go about it? And did they did they take care of business? Did they do what they were supposed to do and what they wanted to do? And these are all things that go through my head. Like, this is why horror movies don't scare me, because I understand exactly how they're done. I understand that. I understand how directors set things up. I understand how they time things, how they set angles, use color, use sound, use jump scares. It's just a whole rigmarole. Like, art's the same way. You do as you're supposed to in order to get certain ideas across, and you use certain tools. There are certain tricks. Like, a kid's backyard magician distracts you in order to hide a quarter behind your ear, and that's the same thing. So hearing folks say, oh, they're going to allow for comic books to be used as part of a reading assignment. Yeah. It's as basic as society. It's as basic as civilization, because before there was a written language, there were pictures on cave walls. There were cavemen that wanted to express a hunt or something that was going on historically in the tribe, and they wanted it to last for generations, and they didn't have anything but pictures that were a commonality between tribes. Like, maybe someone didn't know what a bee looked like or what a D looked like, but you sure as hell knew what an elephant looked like. You knew what a deer looked like. So you put those on a wall, and everybody shared the experience. And it was a common experience, which made things fantastic. And then that common experience, through pictures, through graphic storytelling, became common symbols. People understood, this is what an elephant looks like. This is what a deer looks like. So they began to draw the same animals. They began to draw them the same way. And pretty soon, the symbols became a common language. And they became letters. The symbology became fontography. Pretty soon everyone knew in certain parts of the world what the letters were. Then it became a written language. And then people wrote books. And then people went back to art. And now we have modern day mythology, and we have graphic novels where people tell epic tales and just bring about this mythology and this great way of teaching lessons through visual storytelling, through graphic storytelling. And it's all shared experience. Not that everybody has superpowers, or everybody has been to alien worlds or has fought demons. Like, none of that stuff is real, but the motivation behind it is all real, and it's all common. The urge to want to do good, the urge to be a better person, weakness of not being able to do the right thing at the right time. You know, having to be faced with a tragedy, and how do you react? Those things all come to us from the root of cave drawings. So to hear in a derogatory sense that we're finally gonna let, or, you know, dude, that's dumb, they're gonna let them use comic books as part of their reading. It's not dumb. It's not dumb at all. In fact, you motivate kids to read more. I'll give you an example. As an adult, I had no idea what the culpa ring was. No idea. No idea what the culpa ring was. Then Pia Guerra starts to illustrate this amazing comic. It's called Why the Last Man. And it's all about how a virus happens on Earth, and it wipes out all the men. And the only one that's left is this one guy by the name of Yorick and his helper monkey. And his mother was a politician. His mother was the Speaker of the House. And what you find out is that all the males above her were wiped out. Now that she's Speaker of the House, she is... No, it wasn't Speaker of the House. I think she was in a cabinet position, but it was so outlandish that all the men above her, they died because of this virus, but she became President of the United States. And one of her first acts as President of the United States was to send an agent of the culpa ring to find her son. As Agent 355 was sent to protect her son, Yorick, and his helper monkey, Ampersand. I had no idea what the hell the culpa ring was. No idea. So I looked it up. What is the culpa ring? Because it was mentioned in this comic. It turns out the culpa ring is very important to American history. And if the culpa ring never existed, America would not have existed. And you don't get taught things like that in high school. You don't get taught things like that in a regular public school history class. Where do you get taught things like that? Let's see, you get taught things like that in Why the Last Man, or you watch Turn on AMC, which is a really good show. I liked it. It took place in Setauket, New York, and it was all about the Continental Army, and George Washington, and Robert's Raiders, or Robert's Rangers. And, which is really cool. It's really, really cool. But that's my point, you know? You can influence kids to learn more through graphic storytelling. You can influence them to be more, to believe in themselves. So to have people kind of crap on graphic storytelling, not cool. You're always going to get people that abuse the privilege. You're always going to get people that use it to just do dumb stuff. There's nothing really you can do about that. It's freedom of speech, man. Unless it's causing problems. There's not much you can do. Okay, see that tree? Let me turn this off. Okay, see the trees? So, are we on flats yet? Yo, we could do some flats, man. So I'm gonna do this. Yep, we're gonna 10. Okay. So we're gonna go like this. Look at that. Somebody drew a horizon in the little background. We gotta get in here. Oh, I drew that on the flats, dude. Okay. Now we gotta go to inks. Right? Did I draw them on the sketch line? Drew on the inks, I hope. There we go. All these layers. What is this guy doing? Oh, yeah. Okay. What did I do in the first? There we go. Okay. So, do some stuff like this. Okay. That looks good, right? Yeah, sure. Sure, it looks good. Okay. Now, oh man. Oh, dude, what did I do to myself? Okay. Out. G. Background. I gotta shut that. It'll work, right? Sure. Okay. Go from here to here. And use this polyline. What? Go with my soul. This is where editing comes in. I get it. I just spent 43 minutes rambling on about comic books, rambling on about how to correct things, and doing all sorts of dumb stuff. But you know what? It's not dumb. You guys are entertained. It's not dumb if it pushes my book forward, and it's not dumb if I've wasted no time. And by my assessment, I have not wasted time. I have done at least 3 different things at once. I've given an art history lesson. I've given comic book lesson. No, foreground or background. The what? Ah, dude. I'm gonna fill. Fill. There we go. Hold on. Check. X, bring this down. There we go. Look at that. What's Ed doing? He's doing crazy stuff. I have grass around here, don't I? I know I have that. Okay. So, here's where I told you everything was going to look pretty. Oh, gosh darn it. I guess I lied. I didn't lie. There are brushes that you can use that allow you to make grass. So why don't I use those? A couple of layers above. So why don't I go to my flats layer and do that? So this is going to add some details. And this is going to make things look prettier, I think. So I'm going to continue this panel. Go back to my brush. Glass heading. Glass. I think I can change There's usually an opacity change, but where are my leaves? Well, I guess we can go into Clip Studio tonight. See what they got for leaves. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make some leaves that way. Oh, I have to log in. See how fun this is? This is fun. Clip Studio assets. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find some leaves, sort by popular. So we definitely want that one. That looks pretty good. I'm going to wait for the preview to show up. So there you go. Leaves, 1, 2, blend. Okay, let's do that. Just get it on. Why not? Hey Jack, you just in time to watch me take shortcuts. That's what I do. I'm in the process of downloading assets which are going to allow me to draw leaves very quickly. So I don't have to spend all this time drawing leaves. I can just put leaves on a tree, which is what I'm doing. I really don't have anything going on that I can show everybody while I'm streaming tonight, so I'm going to do something of mine that I've been working on for a bit, and I'm just going to piecemeal it, do pieces at a time. Okay, so it looks like that stuff's downloaded. That's going here. Downloads, right? Downloads. That's old stuff, so it's got to be up here. Material. Here you go. So this should not go under airbrush. It should go under vegetation. It should go there. And this should go here. It's called a blend brush. And then I can just close that so that palette's done. Alright, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to test out some brushes here. That's going to look really good. So I'm going to go to the Leaves palette that I just had. And why is it doing that? Opacity, thickness. Those pretty trees. That's why it was doing that, because I was on the blending brush, and I should have been on that brush, which was the hard one. So I'll go here, do some of this. Ooh. It needs to be a little bit more towards there. It needs to be a little more dull. What? Okay. Well, let's do this then. Let's experiment. That doesn't look too bad to me. A little heavy-handed with the effects, but you know, we do what we can when we can. So we go to our flats. And a little bit on here. What is that? I think the cats. So right there, that's super sloppy what I'm doing, but it's quick. And what I'm gonna do is clean it all up. Just a minute here. Boop. See? Like that. Okay. So what I'm looking to do is I'm looking to take the focus from the trees to the figure that's going to be in there. So you're not going to have to worry about, hey, what's this? And it's just going to be great stuff. So I can't remember how I was going to have this character posed, but it's okay. I can guarantee you that each page is not going to take this long or have this much detail. It's just not going to. This one, go to the inks layer. Tool, lasso. So I'm going to do that. Done. There we go. Go down. Go over to the flats layer. We're going to go with this. The reason why I'm doing that is because I want to do this. And turn off the sketch layer. That's what we got. Oof. Okay. This. So what should a tree be? What color? Maybe it can be shade. Let's cut number of flats. We'll go down here. There we go. It's a tree. It's a tree. I haven't added figures in yet, but I will. The logo, I feel as though I need to add a drop shadow for. So that's what I'm going to do there. And, what did I just do? Let's see. Pull this out. Go like that. Do it that way. I get it. It looks a little crazy right now. So what I'm going to do is filter, blur, Gaussian blur. If I do like a motion blur, reading. Oh well. We'll apply that. See how that looks. And drop this a little bit. That looks good. So that's what it is. Okay, it's 7:10. I appreciate everybody who came by tonight. I'm going to start ramping up the way I do this now. There's going to be a lot more involved. I'm going to have transitions and crazy stuff. So, in that, I want to thank you guys for stopping by. Please feel free to contact me on social media. I appreciate it. Have a good night, guys.